LeBron James is about to turn Philadelphia into an offensive wrecking machine. But there's one brutal flaw that could destroy it all. With LeBron running point, will Maxey, Brown, and Embiid explode? Or will the
LeBron James held the NBA's world's attention the entire summer, and don't expect that to change as the fall approaches, with front office sports reporting that James and the Sixers are expected to get the maximum 34-game national game telecast and streams during the 2026-27 NBA season. And we may see LeBron playing a different role than usual, according to our Shams Charania.
The Sixers expect LeBron James to play a good amount of time at the point guard position on offense, initiating the offense for Nick Nurse. You think about setting up Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brown, Joel Embiid, and VJ Edgecombe. Who better to have set the table than LeBron James, especially for a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who's shown prowess over the years, working off the ball as a scorer. We know he did that alongside James Harden as well. And you think about the one season in the NBA that LeBron James played at the point guard position, the 2019-2020 season. He did that, and he led the league in assists. The Lakers won the championship that year, and we never saw it again. But they're going to be looking at a good amount of time at LeBron at the one offensively.
Brian Windhorst joining us now. And Windy, if you go to LeBron's player profile page on ESPN.com, next to his name it says forward. We've seen him play the five. We've seen him play all across all five positions. But is playing point guard the right way for the Sixers to utilize him in the 2026-27 season?
Absolutely. And, Shams did good reporting here, as usual. I will just say that LeBron has played point guard for every team he's ever played. He may not have been the starting point guard. He's played point guard on his teams since he was 12 years old. The amount of time he's played point guard has varied, and that is what the 76ers are going to be looking at. And look, this is part of their pitch. This was part of what Nick Nurse was pitching to LeBron when he talked to him before he made his decision. And why would the Sixers do that? Why would the Sixers appeal this way to him, other than the fact that it fits their roster? It's because last year, LeBron played as little point guard as he ever has, or at least in many years, because Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves were the primary ball handlers. He played off the ball more last year than he ever had in his career, at least for a full season. And so this would be getting back to the type of play he likes to play. Now, Tyrese Maxey will be their starting point guard, and Tyrese Maxey will have the ball in his hands a lot. But if you break down the numbers, Maxey, like Shams said, is an excellent catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. Shot over 40% on catch-and-shoot three-pointers last year. If you're a 6'7" wing and you shoot 40% on catch-and-shoot three-point shooters, you'll be making huge money. That's a great number on catch and shoot. And also, Maxey has been great at coming off of screens off the ball, like as a cutter. That's what Dwayne Wade did with LeBron when he was in Miami. That year that he won the assist title in 2020, it's actually a fascinating LeBron stat. It was 12 years after he won the scoring title. He won the scoring title and 12 years later won the assist title. Jalen Brown is an elite mid-range shooter, one of the best mid-range shooters in the league. They need to set him up off of the ball to get mid-range shots. It fits. Putting LeBron at point guard for stretches of the games fit. Also, VJ Edgecombe is a combo guard. Maxey's a combo guard. Anthony Simons is a combo guard. LeBron has been great with good combo guards next to him throughout his career. Mo Williams, Kyrie Irving, Austin Reeves. This makes a ton of sense, and it's a really good insight into how the Sixers are thinking.
Totally agree. And I think that note that Shams reported yesterday was really important. And you could absolutely go to the place of fact, like Wendy pointed out. LeBron has been a point guard or a point forward, however you want to look at it, his entire life. But the reason that I thought it was really important is I think we as fans and media got enamored with the Sixers starting lineup. And we looked at it and said, oh my God, the two guards in Maxey and Edgecombe, and these two wings in Brown and James, and then of course the big 7-foot center in Joel Embiid. They have almost kind of ish like an old school 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starting lineup. Well, that's not what necessarily works in the NBA today. Role definition is vital even when you have GOAT-type players in LeBron James and all-star players in Jalen Brown and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. What that told me yesterday, with that note that Shams reported is that they are going to stagger many of these guys. And guys like Dean Wade, who's not necessarily a household name, but does come over with Mike Gansey, their president of basketball operations, general manager, along with Jameer Nelson from Cleveland, that he will have a role because not all of those quote-unquote starting five guys will be on the floor at the same time. That they will utilize, whether it's Anthony Simons off the bench or more recently, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and they will say, we have five guys that at different points in life and careers either have been or will be all-star caliber players. And normally, all-star teams don't work together in terms of winning championships. That little tiny note to emphasize LeBron is going to do what he does best, which is run an offense, is important because it means they are valuing the role players and not just their starting lineup, and they will have stars in their roles in Philadelphia this year.
Yeah, I just want to say, Evan makes good points. I just want to say, and I know this is not the fun thing to talk about less than a week after LeBron signed and you know, in July 28th or whatever, but this Sixers team is large. I have no worries about the offense. They may take a while to get aligned. The Sixers are a defensive struggle team. You know why I know that? Their first order of business this offseason, before they got Jalen Brown, before they knew they could get LeBron James, they went out, as Evan mentioned, and signed Dean Wade. Now you say Dean Wade, like, why are you talking about Dean Wade on First Take when LeBron's contract is freshly signed? The reason they signed Dean Wade for $40 million was because they needed someone to defend. This team was not acceptable defensively last year. They were in the bottom half of the league in defense during the regular season, and I know that they won that 7-game series with the Celtics, but the Knicks steamrolled them on that end of the court. They abused Joel Embiid when they attacked him, and I will tell you that of the 16 teams that made the playoffs last year, the Sixers ranked 14th in defensive efficiency. The Sixers' primary issue coming into this season, beyond the health of Embiid, was how do we get stops? And, you know, when you're asking LeBron to start at power forward, because you can say whatever you want on offense, on defense, he will be defending forwards and sometimes even centers.
LeBron James could be about to unleash one of the most terrifying offenses in the NBA. Philadelphia has Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brown, Joel Embiid, VJ Edgecombe. And now, LeBron could be running the show. The Sixers are expected to receive the maximum 34 nationally televised games in the 2026-27 season. But the real story isn't the spotlight. It's what Philadelphia wants LeBron to do with the basketball. Reports indicate LeBron is expected to spend significant stretches at point guard, initiating the offense for Nick Nurse. And suddenly, the Sixers have a terrifying problem for every defense. Who do you stop first? And the first player who could benefit massively from this experiment is Tyrese Maxey. Maxey doesn't need to control every possession to destroy a defense. Last season, he shot over 40% on catch-and-shoot threes. Put LeBron in front of him, and the possibilities become frightening. LeBron drives. The defense collapses. Maxey relocates. 3 points. Or Maxey attacks the closeout. Or he cuts behind the defense. This is exactly why the LeBron-Maxey combination could become lethal. And history gives Philadelphia reason to believe. In 2019-20, LeBron led the NBA in assists while functioning as a primary ball handler, and the Lakers won the championship. Now, Philadelphia wants to bring that version of LeBron back. But Maxey isn't the only weapon LeBron could unlock. Jalen Brown gives Philadelphia another problem for opposing defenses. Brown can attack mismatches and punish teams in the mid-range. Embiid remains the interior nightmare. Edgecombe adds athleticism. And players like Anthony Simons and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope can provide additional scoring and spacing. On paper, this roster looks ridiculous. But there is a dangerous misconception here. 5 stars do not automatically create a championship team. Roles matter. Spacing matters. Chemistry matters. And most importantly, defense matters. Philadelphia can have one of the most explosive offenses in basketball and still fail if the pieces don't fit together. Because underneath all this offensive excitement is the problem that could bring the entire experiment crashing down: defense. That is where Philadelphia could be exposed. The Sixers finished last season with a 115.5 defensive rating, and their defensive performance became a major concern. The Knicks showed how dangerous those weaknesses could become, attacking Philadelphia's defensive structure and putting pressure on its stars. Now imagine adding another massive responsibility to LeBron. Philadelphia wants him creating the offense. But on defense, he may still have to defend bigger forwards and even centers at times. That creates an impossible balancing act. How much can a 41-year-old LeBron James carry on both ends? If he dominates offensively, can Philadelphia protect him defensively? If the Sixers need him to defend at a high level, does that take energy away from the offense? Those questions could decide everything, and that is why this season may not be about how many points Philadelphia can score. The Sixers already have the talent. They already have the superstar. They already have the offensive weapons. LeBron running point could unlock Maxey. Brown could receive easier opportunities. Embiid could become even more dangerous. And Philadelphia could become one of the most entertaining teams in the entire NBA. But when the playoffs arrive, nobody remembers who looked unstoppable in October. They remember who could survive when the game became ugly. So the challenge is simple. Can Philadelphia get enough stops? Because if the answer is yes, LeBron's return to point guard could transform the Sixers into a legitimate championship threat. But if the defense collapses, all that star power could turn into one giant, expensive disappointment. The offense may be ready. The spotlight is already waiting. Now, Philadelphia has to prove it can defend.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.